welcome back to another fabulous show here on Crafters TV. My name's Joe, and over the next couple of hours we are going to share with you an incredible masterclass. And it's going to be something a little bit out of the ordinary when it comes to masterclass, because we are talking about core tools, which is fantastic. Core tools, that's what we're going to be talking about. And the great thing is, this show is absolutely jam-packed. I mean, we couldn't fit any more in it. So I would definitely urge you to, sooner than rather than later, make sure you're on the website, make sure you're clicking that shop the show button and having a look at anything. If you've been waiting to stock up on any of the essential items in your craft room, this is the show for it, because not only have we got everything in the show, we have got great deals on pretty much everything as well. Not only great deals, great demonstrations coming your way as well, because my TV wife, Debbie Fisher, is back with me in the studio. How are you, Debbie?
Hello, Joe. I'm fine. Thank you very much. How are you?
Really good, thanks. Lovely to have you with us here.
I know.
Are you feeling good?
I am, yes. I've made it through another day, so I'm here to work. So I'm just catching up on myself, but I'm okay, so just treat me gently.
Awesome. So I always do, Debbie, always do. What are we going to learn then? What can we expect to learn over the next couple of hours, Debbie?
Do you know what, Joe? These shows really appeal to me, not only as a person, but as a crafter. Because if you're a crafter out there, what you need is core tools. There's no question about it. But actually, Joe, we have new people that join us all the time and don't know where to start. They have no idea where to start. So we're going to be taking you step by step through all the different sort of core tools that you may need as you go through your crafty journey. And nothing's going to be untouched, and any questions are going to be totally acceptable. Honestly, it doesn't matter if you think it's a stupid question. No question is a silly question. We will answer every single one of them and go through everything in the next couple of hours, Joe. Absolutely,
we will. And we'll do a couple of Q&As actually as we go through the show. So you'll be able to get your questions into me, and you'll be able to do that in all the usual ways. Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion over on YouTube. Right. Over in the show, there's like lots of different sections for you. We've got an adhesive section, we've got a card section, there's tool sections. I'm just going to go through and pick out a few of the best deals that are coming up in this show. The first one we're going to look at for you is a great adhesive essential starter collection. You've got it, you saw it, sorry, I should say, in the earlier Craft Vault show, and you get loads in here. You get the all-purpose glue, the 3D glue gel, an extra strong tape pen. You're also going to get two sides of foam pads, two sides of double-sided tape, the tacky glue, the glue applicators, and the permanent tape pen in there as well. So make sure you don't miss out on that, with a fantastic saving there, as you can see. We've also got the Scoremaster board and Envelobox Creator scoreboard collection for you. £18 or $23, an absolute essential if you want to make any of your own card blanks, your envelope boxes, your regular boxes. It all can be done with those two tools. We also have, I did say we had great deals on the show, didn't I? We've got a buy one, a bog off for you on the rocker blocks. It's a 6-piece collection in total you're getting. It's a half price deal for you as well, as you can see there. Something that was out of stock for a very long time and is now back in stock, I'm pleased to say, is the amazing 8x8 stamping platform with the magnetic base. And you get the magnets included in there too. I even had a little go using this on our rotating stamps this morning. Absolutely loved it, I must say. So do grab that one if you don't have it or you missed out on it previously. We've got some great 8x8 textured card collections for you. There's a whole host of different card stocks in this show. Definitely check the website for them, but you get all three of those for £35 or $47. We also have the glass cutting mat. Now, it's UK only. We don't always have this on our show, so it's great to be able to feature it. $21.99. It's UK only, as I said. Now, don't also forget about the National Craft Month giveaway. Every single day throughout the month of March, we're giving away an awesome selection of crafty goodies, and today is no different. Look at all the things you're getting in there. Stamps, paper pads, I can see foiling dies as well. One of you lucky lot will be winning that today. All you need to do is leave a comment in any one of our shows and we'll pick a winner at random. Well, we'll pick a winner. Our social media superstar, who today is the lovely Sarah Jane, will pick a winner a little later in the day. Something else that's going on over on the website that I really want you to take advantage of is the Totally Tiffany birthday event. You've got double points across everything, and there is a full Totally Tiffany takeover. In 5 days' time, which is awesome. We'll feature the lovely Tiffany. Lots of you saying hello to me already, which is awesome. But I know that you're going to learn loads in this show. So I'm going to hand it over to Debbie. Where are we going to start, Debbie?
Well, for me, the first thing we need to do is look at cardstock, because card is, if you're getting into a paper crafting project, or your craft is wanting to be on paper crafting, paper is the first thing. Now, we have amazing papers across the board, but I'm going to bring in to start with these paper pads, because these are my all-time favourite go-to pads. They're the ones I've replaced I don't know how many times, because I use them so much. So these are your core. The reason they're your core is because this first one has got all your different mats and layers here. These are the ones, the neutrals, are going to be the ones that are going to give you all your base layers, give you all that definition to your cardstock. They're also going to be the ones that mix and match so well with whatever colours you put with them. We've then got our brights. The brights is beautiful. Now, these are pads that have been used, so you will get brand new pads and you will get all the different colours and possibly more, because there's certain colours that are probably missing out of these pads as well. But the brights are gorgeous. They're going to coordinate really well with the pastels as well, which are gorgeous. I mean, really gorgeous pastel colours you are getting in here, which are really fabulous. So these are your main pads that you're going to use. They're an 8x8 inside, which is amazing, and we're going to be using them. So the next thing then I would say to start with is you need some scoring implements. Now, what I mean by that is making your cardstocks, making them into cards, making them into projects, making gift boxes. So we're going to be bringing in our scoreboard. So this one is our master score. I'm going to put it this way so you can see the full board here. Now, what this is going to do is take a whole sheet, and I'm going to bring in some other core cardstock that we've got, some Centura, some glitter cardstock, which is non-shed. This is amazing cardstock. It's brilliant at scoring, folding, die cutting, embossing, everything. And this is what I was saying about these core pads. I'm just going to bring this in and just flicking through any of these colours. Look how nice you could put certain colours together that are all going to coordinate really well. But you've got different textures in here. You've got your textured cardstock, but then you've got that beautiful shimmer Centura and your glitter cardstock, and all of these are going to go so well. So to start with, what is your scoreboard for? Now, your scoreboard, we have a measuring grid that goes from 1 inch to 8 inches on here, which means it will take a piece of cardstock of an A4 size. An A4 size in the UK is 8 2 increments of an inch by, I believe it's 11 3/4.
Awesome.
It'll be slightly different in the US. And then on the other side of the board, we have got our centimetres. So anyone wanting to work in centimetres, you've got 22 centimetres on the board as well. Now, not only is it a scoreboard, which scores remarkably well, and in fact, I'm going to take a piece of card. Let's take a brights piece so you can see it clearly. Let's take a colour that's probably got more of in here. Let's take our, there's one page of that orange there. Now, what makes a good scoreboard is the ability to be able to score with actually being able to not have any I've lost the words, Joe. What's the word? A crumpled edge. You'll be able to actually not have, a crumpled edge. So scoring down lightly. Now this is 230 cardstock. And the reason I wanted to bring this one in first, because then I'm going to bring in the different cardstocks so you can see how it doesn't matter what the weight of the card, it's going to score beautifully. Now I know that I can go in at, sorry, I should have done the 4-inch mark there. I've gone in, I'm not looking properly. We're going to have that exact fold for 4 inches across our card. So you can actually make card blanks out of that 8x8 cardstock, which is amazing. Fabulous. So that's going to give you your cardstock. Then if we want to actually halve an A4 sheet, I then know that we can go in at 1 increment before the 6 and score that down, and that will score just as beautifully to give me that cardstock across the board there. And that will give you your other cardstock there. So it really does. And if you look across here, you've got nothing on here, which is amazing. I mean, that's pretty cool that we don't have any feathering, any cracking. We've got that beautiful edge, which actually gives you a professional finish. So that's amazing. The next thing that this can do, it can create a box. Now, we're not going to go fully into box making at the moment because you can watch things back. We could, if anyone wants to see a box being made, we can do that. But we're actually just doing this journey about the cardstocks and why you would need them. So you can make boxes out of them. The other thing is you do have this piece at the top which actually fits your scoring tool. I was going to say pokey tool, and it's not a pokey tool. Your scoring tool into the top, so everything is where you need it, so you don't lose it. It's got a handle on it, so you can hold it, which is amazing. Now, if you make a card blank, you would need an envelope to fit it in, and this is where the journey comes from Sarah, especially, where you can make your own envelopes, which is quite amazing. It comes with full instructions, and you'll be able to see how it's done in the booklet to give you full step-by-steps. And again, we might be able to fit this in and do a demo with it later on. But these two products and the cardstock is definitely my first recommended for anything that we're getting into our paper crafting journey. And there we go, Jo. So them are what I would say is your very first core essentials.
Awesome, and there's so many great cardstocks available for you on this show. I'm just going to whiz you through a couple of them. These Century Pearls all come individually wrapped, which is nice as well, so it keeps them all nice and pristine. Loads of you are very excited about this show already. Oh, I've made a right mess down here, Debbie. Loads of you really excited. Lots of you tuning in saying hello as well. Susie's in New Orleans, Randy's in Palm Springs. Oh, they all sound very warm compared to what is quite a stormy northeast today. Angie's in Indiana and from Connecticut too. As I did say, anyone that's got any questions, you can get them into me. You can do that very easily. Crafters TV on Facebook or Crafters Companion over on YouTube, which is fantastic. So we're going to look at the products you've just seen now. The Score Master is an absolute essential, as you can see there. So in this configuration, not only are you getting the Score Master with the scoring tool, which lives in the top here, you are then getting the Envelobox Creator, which is going to allow you to make those deep gusseted envelopes. So those sort of envelope boxes that you might want to weigh. For what you're getting here, £18, this is awesome, because think about not buying boxes anymore. Think about not buying card blanks anymore. You don't need to do it because you've got all of everything that you need here to enable you to do that. So don't miss out on that one. Great that we have that in stock for you. Then we've got the textured card pads, as you just saw. So you get 3 in this particular configuration. You're going to get this one here, which is the neutrals. You're also going to get the pastel. My pastels, I don't know, but is yours the same, Debbie? Mine is very skinny. I'd say it's meant to have 36 sheets in here. It definitely doesn't. I'm going to try and get a new one of those. I've only got about 2 colours in there. I've also got here the brights for you too. You get 36 pages in each of those, which is absolutely fantastic. So do grab them. £35, $47. We've got, oh yeah, we've got the Centura. Do you know what? I'm going to put it together for you and I'm going to flick through it all in one go, just so you can see. But you've got some gorgeous colours within here, which is fantastic. You're getting 5 of the individual packs. So you're going to get 50 sheets in this particular one. So you've got the mink, you've got the platinum, you've also got that, which is beautiful, isn't it? How gorgeous. It's like a sort of a blush, and that's double-sided, that one as well. You've then got the lovely turquoise, and you've got the fuchsia in there too. £11.50 or £11.50, hang on a minute, per sheet. That is incredible value for money right there. Lord Adam is here to the rescue. I'm going to swap him. There we go. Oh, that's a very aggressive throw, Adam. This, of course, is your pastel, as you can see just there. Really, really awesome. So that's what you're getting in there. That was in the texture card pads. We've got glitter for you as well. Now, the glitter's fabulous. It is so fabulous. The other great thing about the glitter is that it is in a vast array of colours. And as Debbie just said there a minute ago, it doesn't shed, which is brilliant. So what you've got here, you've got your lilacs, which are these here. And then what you've got is this gorgeous icy blue. You've got the gold. That green is awesome. And you've got the copper in there as well. Shall I do that? Yeah, see, no shedding. I've not got a glitter beard. And this is great. The reason it's great that it's not shedding is if you've got like electric cutting machines, so like a Cricut or something like a Brother Scan and Cut, it means that you'll be able to pop that through there, which is awesome. Loads of you, oh, June says you're looking good in plaid today. Thank you, June. Kay loves all your explanations. Lisa says hi from sunny Reno, Nevada. I love the Ultimate Pro. I need to get the scoreboard. Finally made some boxes for gifts. They turned out fabulous. Yvonne says, believe it or not, I usually have some problems with the Scoremaster, so it's lovely to see it explained for me. Thank you. Stephanie says, I love your pink sweater, Debbie. You look great in that colour. And Sonia says, I recently bought the tote that Debbie has sitting next to her, and I love it. The hard handle is awesome. Kathy says, just watched back the earlier show. I missed most of it. Looking forward to this one. Lovely to have you with us, Kathy. And Linda says, hi again. Great to see Debbie. Hope you are feeling better. She is feeling better, which is fabulous. Just in time for this awesome masterclass. Right, Debbie, what would you like to share with us next?
Right, so the next thing that we would need, so we've got our card, we've got our scoring tools, we've got our envelope maker to make the envelopes. We then need something to work off of. Now, this for me is the glass mat, is an absolute workforce.
A what?
Sorry, I'm laughing because Craig is acting like a nutter through the window.
Oh. Craig's smiling like a, yeah.
I think he's just trying to make me laugh. Am I not smiling
he's having a lovely time out there,
Perhaps
bless him.
I'm not smiling enough and he's been told to come and make me smile. What's he doing?
What's he like?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm probably not. I do apologise. I'm not my usual happy self, but I will get there.
You are. You're always jolly.
So the glass mat itself is incredible. It's the workhorse. It's the one that's going to do the best work for you. It goes right up to 18 centimetres to 12 centimetres on here. So you've got everything that planned out for you, including UK and US, which is amazing. So what we've got here, in the US, you've got your letter size. So if I bring in a piece of our A4 card, it will give you, just in case anybody that's not quite sure of how our A4 size works to your letter size. This one it's shorter in width to what yours would be, so you'd go then to the 11, and actually it's taller. So we've sort of got that extra bit on this side where you've got the extra bit on that side, and that's the difference. But obviously if I bring this over to this side here, I'm trying to look at where we haven't actually, it must be there, Joe. Am I just not looking?
What are you looking for?
I thought we had an A4 size on here, but it's there's no actual A4, so it's actually giving us the card sizes going up. So we've actually got our A6, 6x6, 5x7, A5, 8x8, 10x10. So it means that you can really plan out on this craft mat, and that's before you do anything else with it. So because what you're going to use this glass mat for is so many different things. Now to start with, I'm going to bring in a scrap piece of card. In fact, the piece that we've got here, Joe, which I folded in half, because I'm actually at this point going to bring in something we've got in the show. I'm bringing in a craft knife. Now the craft knife is amazing because what it's got a swivel tip on it. It's a swivel knife, which means it will turn. So turn where you want it to go. So if I put something onto here, if I then want to do squiggly lines around, can you see, Joe? I can actually go around wherever I want it and move it. So wherever you want to take your craft knife, you just move it with that, and it's just that sort of squiggle that you can do. Now if I had a normal craft knife, I wouldn't be able to do that because it's harder then to actually turn round. Now the other thing you get is you get the blade replacements with this as well. So all you do is you take this off. When you take it apart, you just loosen it, pull this out, and then you just put your other one back in, and then you tighten it. So really nice and easy. So a glass cutting mat is the best thing for actually using with your craft knife because it's got a harder surface. It means that I just need to do a line through that and cut, no problem, and I put no pressure on my hand. So if you have any sort of dexterity problems, the glass mat is perfect if you're cutting down onto your mat, which is amazing. So let me pop that to the side. The next thing that we're going to do is do some inking, because that's another good thing that the glass mat is good for. So all your wet work, all your painting work, it's going to protect your whole surface. So straight away, I'm going to be bringing in 2 of my ink applicators. Now you can get the circle one and you can get the square one. And really it's all about preference on what you prefer. These do come with additional applicators, so, and you can buy separate applicators as well, so you can use them for your different ink pads and your different colours. They're Velcro, they've got this sort of the Velcro tips on here, so they just go, you just take them on and off, and I would just keep them in a little pot just to stop the ink from applying anywhere else, like in your bag and everything. And then we've got 2, so really nice and easy. Now what's great, I'm going to bring them in, we've got some watercolour cardstock on the show as well, which is great, and I'm also just going to bring in some ink here and show the sort of difference. Now all I'm going to do is I'm just sort of turning and dabbing my ink into there just to gather that onto my ink pad, and then you can just come in from your glass mat. Now because it's glass, it means it gives you that slippery surface to just edge your cardstock. Now you wouldn't be able to do that on a normal table that wouldn't give you something that you could slip onto. So just being able to come off of there, and it means you're not applying too much ink, where if I was to go directly onto my ink here, although our inks are quite good, you'll get that sort of bigger patch there. So it's always better to come in from the edge and then start working your way in with the ink pads, which makes a really big difference. So can you see, Joe? And we're only being able to do that and get that perfectly edged ink because we're doing it from our glass mat, which is amazing.
And also, it's going to protect where you're working. Nothing worse than having a,
absolutely,
you know, maybe you like a fuchsia dining table, but not if it's cream. You don't want a fuchsia dining table, do you?
That's very, very true, no. So then what I'm going to do is bring in some blue, and then we can actually, I can just pick this up here and start edging that in as well, because we can start blending those 2 colours. And that's allowing me to work like that because of the glass mat, which is amazing. So lots of different things. What I can also do, and I haven't got to hand, Joe, I'm just going to look in my other bag because I needed a spritzer. I was going to bring in my water spritzer. I have got one, I've got it here.
Awesome.
We can actually spritz onto here. So if I bring this colour in, I can then use my water to spritz down, and then we can use that to actually do our watercolour effect from our glass mats.
Oh, cool.
And bring that out and get that onto our pad. I've not used the right ink pad actually, I'm using my pigment ink pads and I should be using my water reactive. But actually it's making quite a nice background as well. But all of this you can then just clean up afterwards. It works just really, really well. So your glass mat is definitely one that you need to use for all your different techniques, all your wet techniques, inking techniques. It mops up beautifully, all your cutting techniques, because it's absolutely perfect for that. And really just your general card making, like Joe said, to protect your surfaces, making sure that it doesn't go anywhere else. So yeah, it's just one of those great, awesome products to have in your craft room.
Awesome. Right, let me recap then some of the items that you've just seen there. The details are on your screen for the glass cutting mat, £21.99. It is UK only, just due to the fact that we can't ship it to the US from the UK. We do often have it on our warehouse clearances, so it might be worth checking the US website to see if it comes back there. We've also got the swivel knife with the replacement blades as well. You get the 5 replacement blades. Do you get 4 or 5 in with it, Debbie, as well?
Yes, you do. Yeah.
You get 5 in the box,
yeah.
and then an extra 5, so you get 10 blades total.
Yep.
Awesome. £4.99 or £6.95 is that one. We also have the round blending tool with the 10-piece refill, so you can go for that one, or you can go for the square one with the refill as well. Notice that you've got discounts on everything in this show as well, and that is not the case normally with Core Tools. We've worked really hard to bring you discounts across everything, so if you're looking to stock up, this is definitely the show. That's the round one. We've also got the square one available for you as well. Check the, here it comes. There you are, there's the square one. Funny how we call it a square one when it's not square, it's rectangle. What's that all about, eh? We've also got the watercolour collection, 45 sheets. That's one of the best deals I've seen in a very long time for our watercolour cardstock. £9 to get 45 sheets, which is brilliant. Next I want to show you some of the finger daubers. Now, Debbie raves about these. She absolutely loves them, as does everyone that uses them. They are excellent because what they are great for is they're like the blending tools, but they're just mini ones that are designed for your... My thumb's too big to go in there. I also think it looks quite weird, odd, I don't know. But what these allow you to do is have an individual dauber or blender for each one of your ink pads. I know a lot of people, Debbie, have like different sets of these, don't they, for different collections. They have like a whole set for their water reactives, a whole set then for their pigments. But I know, is it the pigments you really love using these with?
Yeah, I absolutely do. I think these are really fun ways to actually do your inking. But what I also love about these, Joe, I mean, I've just picked our studio ones up. Are these not well loved, Joe?
Yeah.
They're so well loved, but they're quite amazing because what you've got here is your, you can use all your different colours on them and put those daubers back. So these are quite incredible. But what I do love about them is that they are so simple to use. And if you want to use them on really small, little tiny amounts, so like if you've got a die cut that you want to just go around the edges for, these are perfect for. And also, Joe, you can use 2 or 3 at once, have them on your fingers and dip them in and out of different colours, so it makes things really much easier.
Oh, I think I'd definitely end up double dipping in the wrong colour if I did that. I definitely would be a one dauber at a time kind of guy. Lots of you chatting away with me, which I always love, of course. Susie T says, no one does glitter card like Crafter's Companion. It is the best. I would happen to have to agree with you. Susan says, you're doing great, Debbie. I hope you are feeling much better. Renee loves her glass match. This is one of the best she's ever purchased too. Getting a few questions coming in. We'll do a little bit of a question and answers session in the next sort of 15-20 minutes. So any questions that you've got about any of our core tools, absolutely anything that's in the show, get them into me, and you can do that. Details there along the bottom of your screen. Crafters TV over on Facebook, or of course Crafters Companion across on YouTube. I can see a lot of you with very full baskets, so I am going to give you an opportunity to get checked out. Very busy on all the card stocks, especially. Whilst you do that, here's all the details on how you can watch and shop at the same time. Hi, I'm Joe from Crafters TV, and I'm here to show you how you can grab the best deals and shop whilst you watch during our shows. So the best way to watch us is always on Crafters TV. Head on over to our homepage and go to Crafters TV. You can see all of our shows, offers, and even shop while you watch. Now if you want to get involved and comment along, head over to our Facebook page. Come say hello, ask us some questions, and lol with us. Or you can watch us on YouTube. Simply head to our Crafters Companion YouTube channel. Got a smart TV? You can even AirPlay directly onto your big screen. We're constantly adding new and exciting shows to our schedule, so don't forget to check in. It's never been easier to have us in your living room. It's always fun here at Crafters TV, so come join us as we create every day. Every single day, we are here with you every day, which is absolutely awesome. You guys absolutely love these shows, which is fantastic. Right, let me share with you the glue collection which we've got on this show, because it is awesome. Let me take you through everything that you're going to get in here. So you're going to get your Call-Out 3D glue gel. This is with the tools as well. You're getting the all-purpose, the tacky glue. You're going to get both types of tape pens, the dotty and the extra strong. I love the dotty one, I really do. Then you've got the glue applicators, 2 of the red liner tapes, which are kind of the strongest thing really when it comes to adhesive. If you make a lot of boxes and do construction, these are awesome for that. And then you've got both sizes of the foam pads in there too. It's pretty much, I would say, for most of your day-to-day crafting, everything you're going to need really in there when it comes to all of your adhesives. You've got a great price on this as well. £38 or $64. That's £30.40 or $51.20 as a Club Inspire Platinum member. Now, we've also got the 8x8 stamping platform available for you. It only came back in stock last week, actually. I had it on a show with Jan. Since then, it has been incredibly busy. And the great thing about it is that it enables you, especially if you're not the most confident stamper, it enables you to get a second stamp in exactly the same spot. If you've got rotation stamps, if you've got layering stamps, all of those things work brilliantly with our 8x8 stamping platform. $22.49 or $26.99 if you want to get your hands on that. And then we've also got the rocker blocks. Now, this is great because they're on a half price deal. And I mean, I don't know about you, but I love a half price deal. Going to be less than half price for all of you because you're all getting some sort of club inspired discount as well. £9.98 or $13.99 as a club inspired platinum member. We've also got a stamping plate collection for you as well. This is awesome. So you're going to get in here the stamping mat. Now the mat is great, whatever you're using it with. You wouldn't use it with the stamping platform, you wouldn't use it with the 8x8 platform, sorry, but it's awesome because what it does is, it's like some cushion basically for you to stamp against. It gives you a bit of a resistance, and then what it does is it sort of pushes it back the stamp. Whereas if you stamp against something hard, like a flat surface, sometimes your stamp can smush a little bit and distort. It doesn't happen when you do this. You've then got the two different sizes of the stamping platform here as well. So you've got this one, which is your 6x6, and you're going to get the 4x4 in there as well. When I said you wouldn't use the 8x8 platform, you can use the 8x8 platform on here. What I meant was you wouldn't use the magnetic base at the same time. £20 or $27 if you want to get a hold of those. Stamping, Debbie, as well, is kind of one of those things, isn't it? A lot of people, I'm not going to say it's Marmite because that's not the case. A lot of people try it and just don't think it's for them, but then everyone else is like waxing lyrical. And I think there's maybe a portion of crafters that just aren't getting their head around why it doesn't work for them.
Do you know what it is, Joe? I think it's having the right tools. And lots of people try something and it doesn't work for them. Now, when we first, so let's start to our very basics. So let's go back to what we first had when we were stamping. When we were first stamping, we brought out the rocker blocks. For me, oh, that was an awful
What was
noise.
that?
That was the rocker blocks.
Oh.
I won't do it again, but sliding against there. The rocker blocks were just the bee's knees for me when they come on the market. I couldn't believe how easy they were. What's great about these is they have, if I bring it this way, you'll be able to see that they have this lip on each side. So you can actually see, I'm going to just bring it that way so you can see it. So on this side, actually, that's better. We'll do it that way, yeah. So on this bit, that's it. So we can see along here, let's just bring it apart from that purple. There we go. This bit is exactly the same size as what your stamp would be. So I'm just going to grab myself a stamp just to pop onto there. So let's just use one here. We can pop that there, and that will not be higher than this piece here. So when you're going to stamp with it, it means that and the reason they're called rocker blocks, and you can see, is they're curved, Joe. And the reason they're curved is because you rock from heel to toe, and then you should get the perfect stamping. Now, a lot of people, I heard, so there's some people that didn't get on with rocker blocks because that's how sometimes it is. You don't always get on with something. Rocker blocks for me are perfect, and we'll demonstrate that and show the different sizes. So I've got 4 different sizes of rocker blocks.
Why do we need all the different ones then,
Because
Debbie?
you have different size stamping. I love this long one. This is great because I always keep this for my sentiments, Joe. You get long sentiments in lots of things these days, and this is a great one to use for that. You've got smaller ones so you can put all your small bits there. Then you've got your really large one. Now let's start off with the large one so you can see exactly what I'm doing here. I'm then going to just grab myself some card, and then we're going to just bring in fact, let me bring in my quick drying inks here. Now what's great about the rocker blocks is we can use these to do different parts of our flower. So I'm just going to bring that in, bring in a little bit. I'm just doing it really quickly just to show you how gorgeous these are. And then we're going to use our green just to do the stem on there. Now what's really good about the rocker blocks is you literally just hold it on the base here, and then you rock it forward and use your fingers here. Now this is what I believe some people found, that maybe you needed to put that pressure down. That's just a light lemon there that I've used, but you can see that is on there. It's not where it's not stamped, it's just a lighter colour. But sometimes they wouldn't be able to put the pressure in the centre that they perhaps needed to. So it's just about pushing down and being able to get that section done. So then we decided to bring in these different ones. So although rocker blocks have, and what's really good about these, Joe, this is quick stamping. I can then bring in another sentiment. So let's just quickly bring in another one here. I'm just going to ink this up. Let's just say I want to just go down the side here. I can just bring that in, stamp that, and I've got a really quick card made straight away, yeah, which is amazing. So your rocker blocks are really, really quick crafting for you to do. But for people that maybe do have dexterity problems, this was created, which means you just have to push down. Now, all the effort is put onto these springs on the 4 sides. So if I bring these in, you can see it's like this sprung section going up and down, and you've got that spring. And it's really easy because you've got even pressure all the way around, just slightly pushing down. And I'm not pushing down. In fact, if I just use one finger, you can see you don't have to put a lot of pressure down on these, which is amazing. And you can then bring that in with the craft mat, which helps even more now, because as you push down, it actually, you've then got this spongy mat, which is almost like really thick foam. You're able to then put your stamp. So let's bring that stamp and put that onto here. We can
a lot of love for that stamping platform. Carol says, I used to avoid stamping like the plague until I got my platform.
Yes.
Oh, Carol, that's strong words, but I'm sure you're not alone there. Crafty Asia says, I got the rocker blocks to try, and they're so good. I got the rest of the set. Full set syndrome, she calls it.
I love that.
I love that. Have you got full set
yes.
syndrome? That is awesome, isn't it?
Absolutely, it's amazing, Joe. I love that. So what we've got here then is we've got our stamping platform that we can do exactly the same with, but it's a lot easier on the hands, Joe, because we're not rocking, so we're not actually turning our hands. We're not putting too much pressure down. We can just put the pressure down. You can just put, so do that again because that will transfer. We'll get another one. If I just hold that down with one finger, you can see that doesn't take a lot of pushing down, and you can just go around it, which means you can then get, that's very slight because I didn't re-ink it, but you don't need to put a lot of pressure on to be able to create that amazing printed image. And then if you wanted to do smaller, we do that in the 2 sizes. So you've got that in the 4x4 and the 6x6. But if you then wanted to go even bigger, and for me, this is the one that I recommend to absolutely everybody, because since we've had this, Joe, it's the one I use all the time.
It's a game changer, isn't it?
It's totally a game changer. If you are someone that was really not sure about stamping before, this is definitely the one for you, and it's amazing. I honestly use it all the time. So what you've got here, apart from anything else, you've got a grid. Now this grid at the bottom on this magnetic base, you get your magnets with it as well. Shall I tell you a little story which is quite funny about these magnets, Joe?
I think I remember,
oh,
but
you
yes,
might,
go on.
you might actually know it wasn't me, but our Fiona, when she was the first one that demonstrated this. And we have a little group that we text into, and she said, Leanne, can I just ask why we've got a V and a V? Yeah, it was a V. She thought there was 2 V's on there, but what they were is that it's 2 C's for our Crafter's Companion, but she actually see them as 2 V's, which was quite funny and couldn't work out.
Was it B's or
well.
3's?
No, she thought they were V's. I'm pretty sure she thought it was a V.
Right.
Yeah, she was a V. Or she might have now thinking about it even said a W, but yeah. And then Leanne laughed and said, "That's our logo," which was quite funny.
That was funny.
So yeah, what's great about this is your grid at the bottom matches your grid at the top, so you can't go wrong. So you know our rotating stamps, you're going to get that perfect image every time. But whatever stamp you use, so let's just bring in another one here. I'm going to bring in another piece of our cards. I'm using our watercolour cardstock. Pop this into place.
Jane says about this, anyone who hasn't got this stamping platform, that you need to get it. It's great, and I wouldn't be without mine. I think that's all we hear from people about these, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah, I could not. I do mine all the time. And I know we talk about using sort of smaller and bigger, but this one for me is the one I use every time. And the reason being, when I pick this up, so I know that that's going to go onto, I've already got ink on there, but when I put that on there, I'm just then going to ink my my flower up. So let's put some orange, and then we'll do that green. Now I'm going to purposely not stamp this very well, Joe, so I'm just going to do that. I bet I stamp really good now. Nope, you can see, I've made a real mess of that. Now, if I'd done that with anything else, I would have had to chuck that piece of card away because I would not ever have been able to match that design up. But because I've got this board, what I can then do is I can then apply my ink again, and then the stems, and then what I can do is go down, and I know that I can put this down. I'm still going to make a mistake, Joe. I'm still just going to go in on one side. So it's still not done properly, which means all of this hasn't done. But what I can do...
Are you better than this, Debbie?
I know, I am better than this. I know, Joe, I'm sorry. Well, I thought I was better than this. Then what I'm going to do, I know where I've missed. I can go back down. I can just go around that image, making sure that's got everywhere. And we've got that perfect image every time. And even if you feel like you wanted to build this image up a little bit more, you can then go in and let's just pop a bit more orange on there. And pop that down, making sure, always make sure that's in position before you push down, because if you've got one out of a little bit, you can see it's then your grid is out. But actually when you look at it like that and you push it down, you know you're going to get that perfect imagery every single time with no mistake. And I've still lost a bit there, Joe. Look, I'm still not doing that very well, but I think that's more my ink, and there we go, and that's filled up all those gaps. So it doesn't matter how many times you want to stamp onto there. This really is, for me, the best stamping platform out there, which is amazing. But all of them have a job, so I would say start wherever you want to start. If you want to start with the rocker blocks, they do a blinding job because they're very quick. You can't keep putting things onto here. It'll take too long, where your rocker blocks can keep stamping. The same with your 4x4 and your 6x6 and your stamping mat. But they all have a place and they're all amazing.
I think everyone would agree that they all have their place. Absolutely, if you just said there. Paula says, stamping plates are amazing. It makes it possible to stamp again perfectly if you miss a spot the first time round. Maureen says, I love my stamping platform. I wasted so much card before, as you don't get it right the first time without a platform. It is very difficult getting it right the second time around. Marjorie says, I love using the stamp platforms. It's for precision stamping. I have all three of them, which is awesome. So much love for this. And remember, you can get your hands on yours right now. It is in stock, which is honestly a rarity here at Crafters TV. So do get your hands on it if you want it. You get the base, the magnets, and the 8x8 platform on there as well. $22.49 or $26.99. Right, we also have for you the stamping mat, which is awesome. Brilliant when you're using your smaller platforms or you're using your rocker blocks. And in here, what you're going to get is this awesome stamping mat. Then you're getting the 6x6. And you're getting the 4x4 in here as well, which is awesome. So all of those coming your way. That's a great price. You'll be able to get that for £16 as a Club Inspired Platinum member today in the UK, which is awesome. We also have the rocker blocks available for you too. You get 6 rocker blocks in this collection just here. $9.99 or $13.99 if you want to get your hands on those. Right, I've got loads of questions coming in for you, Debbie. We need you know, what we need is like a mastermind spotlight and a little arm, like a little swivel chair in the middle of the studio for Debbie to dim the lights. Boom. That was Who Wants... Adam's having a think about it, Lord Adam. But that was, I know that's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music I just did. Adam's saying he's really keen on the idea. Unfortunately, at the moment, he's got loads of spare time, so we can expect that. We can expect that in a flash, Debbie. I reckon, actually, you know what? By our 7 p.m. show, he might have nailed that. Right, Lisa Turner asks on YouTube, what is the biggest size card you can use on the platform with the magnets?
So it's a 8x8 size. Let me just grab it again, Joe. All I want to do is to make sure. So the actual inside without the extras on the edge is 8x8. So 8
Fantastic.
inches by 8 inches you can fit fully on there with the magnets.
Brilliant, I hope that helps. Pamela says, does the mat cut down on slipping, the stamping mat? It makes it possible to stamp again Perfect. One, so let me just, I've got two different comments there. Sorry, excuse me. Pamela says, does the mat cut down on slipping? I've stopped using anything but the platform, which I love. So, yeah, does the mat stop you sort of moving around?
It does with the magnets, but you could use my trick, which I do get a bit told off for, but use your spray.
Oh, Jan, honestly, she'd be cursing you again now.
You may be in the US and might not be able to get that. I do know that HSN did sell this, so you might probably be able to get that on there, but our stick and spray, which is the purple one, means it's repositionable, so you can actually stick this onto your base platform and it will stick it in place, but if not, your magnets will hold it into place. And yes, definitely will stop it from slipping.
Just dropped everything. I think when she was talking about the mat and the slipping, I think she was actually talking about the stamping mat, Debbie, not the magnetic base.
Oh, I see, right, yes. Yeah, absolutely, yes it would, because it has got like a sponge effect. It is like a foam. So let's just put a piece of card on there. Yeah, so I'm pushing that and it's not moving anywhere.
Awesome.
Yep.
For Holidays Design says, can you use the same set of daubers for all the ink, or is it one set for pigments, one set for water reactives, one set for quick dries?
I love that. That's an absolutely brilliant question. So you can use them for all of them. What we have designed in our ink range is they are all the same colours. So it doesn't matter what you, which colours you put them into in what ink pad. So whether you're using the quick drying, whether you're using the Harmony ink pads, water reactive, or whether you're using our pigment ones, you can use the same dauber in the same amount of family. And what I would say is when you're using the daubers, actually, I'm just going to bring this in. Let me just move this. What I would do, Joe, is if you've used, let's say I've used this one on all my reds. So you would start off with your orange, then your red, then your deeper Bordeaux. What I would then do is keep just padding onto a piece of card or use it to create a background. It's always good to have a scrap bit next to you, but the more you do this, can you see it's getting lighter and lighter? So the more, then we start to where we're hardly getting any on at all. That way it's ready to use your lightest colour on again, because if you've still got a darker colour on there and then you put it into your lightest shade, it is then going to transfer that darker colour onto it first with that lighter shade because it's darker. So always do that, but yes, you can definitely use them for whichever ink family you're going for.
Awesome. I hope that helps. Jane would like to know, does the craft knife, the swivel one, will it scratch your glass mat?
No, the glass mat is has been designed to take that, and actually the only thing I can feel on my glass mat is glue. I can feel like there's glue on here where people have just gone off the edge. Any of us do that, we all do that, it's very easy. But can you see, I'm just using my nail to take that away. But there is no scratch marks. I'm using my nails on there, Joe, and nothing's stopping them from, like normally you'd cut in, like you'd feel those dig marks. So no, the answer to that. I'm going round about the houses, but no, it doesn't cut your glass mat, no.
Awesome. I hope that helps, Jane. Brenda says, hi Debbie, I want to get a scoreboard for a new crafter. What is the difference between the boards that are on the show today and the Ultimate Pro?
So the Ultimate Pro is your craft room tool. So that does all your different card sizes, and they are actually marked down onto the actual front of your Ultimate. So it will tell you an A5 size, it will tell you how to do a gatefolded card, it will give you those measurements. With a scoreboard, that's been made just to do your scoring line. So you can make different effects on there. So you could do like a lattice effect where you get an embossed lattice effect on there. You can also make boxes on there, but you can also do your card blanks on the scoreboard, but what you do need to do is just make sure you've got your measurements. So if you've got, let's say, an 8x8 card, piece of card, and you wanted it folded in half, you know to put it at 4 inches, so it would fold completely in half. What the Ultimate does for you, it takes all the guesswork out of it, so it will actually tell you where to score to make that certain size card blank. So that's the difference with them, and the Ultimate obviously has loads more different things in there. It has your bow maker, it gives you all your techniques to do different sizes of cards, it gives you your smaller envelopes, so there's so much that the Ultimate does. Your scoreboard is really for your general scoring in any crafting that you're doing.
Brilliant. Hope that helps. Marie would like to know, can the sprays be used to stick elements on cards, especially intricate elements?
Yeah, the sprays are brilliant for that, but just make sure you use the right ones. So what you do need is you need the stick and stay. There's all different ones. So the stick and stay, red I always think for danger. So red is the one that's going to be permanent.
Red for danger!
Red for danger, yes. So yeah, that one is the one that you need. And what I would recommend, spray it onto the back, leave it for a couple of minutes, and then give it another spray. Leave it for a couple of minutes. It makes it really tacky and really strong. And then adhere it to what you want it adhered to.
Fabulous. Dawn would like to know if the magnets for the stamping platform are available separately.
Oh, that's a good point. No, they're
not,
not.
are they?
Funny enough, yeah, no. So they haven't. And but you could buy magnets, Joe. You can
Magnets
buy
are magnets, aren't they?
Magnets are magnets, yeah. So
Sure is magnets are magnets.
and you could always write the CC logo on there.
Yeah,
couldn't you, just to
or you
put
could
on
print
there,
it out,
so-
stick it on with a little sticker
Absolutely,
maker if you've got
yeah.
a desire on. Right, that brings our Q&A to a close. We will do another one maybe if we get enough questions in the second hour. I think we'll do another one then. Now, let me recap some of the awesome stuff that's coming in this show that you've seen so far. Still loads to go though. £18 or $23 gets you the Scoremaster and the Envelobox Creator there. So you're going to be able to make all your own card blanks. You're going to be able to do, of course, your own boxes and all of your deep gusseted envelopes or Enveloboxes will work for that as well. We've got some brilliant cardstock on the show for you. Whether you want to go for the 8x8s, £35, $47, it gets you 3 of the 36 sheet double-sided textured pads. You've got a really nice vast array of colours in there as well. We also have glitter. Now the glitter that we sell here, our glitter cardstock, is fabulous because it is encapsulated non-shedding glitter. You get 10 sheets of each, a lovely vast array of colours there for $15.50 or $23.50. We also have some of the legendary, the world famous Centura Pearl, which is our gorgeous pearlescent cardstock there, $11.50 or $17.50 if you want that one. That glass cutting mat that you've seen Debbie using throughout the show, and you actually see all of our experts using throughout all of our shows, available to you, £21.99. It is UK only. Now the swivel knife that we spoke about, that's on the show too. You get the actual knife itself, 5 blades with it, and then also an extra 5 blades as part of this configuration. So you're getting the spare blades for free here, which is awesome, $4.99 or $6.95. And then we also have the ink daubers for you. You've got 40 daubers in here, which is awesome. And they come in the case, £21 or $28 if you want to go for those. Now we get, this is a brilliant show for first time viewers or for anyone that is new to us here at Crafters TV or maybe just new to crafting. If you are new to us, then maybe you're not aware of all the fabulous details of our loyalty program. We call it Club Inspire, and here's Sarah to take you through the details.
Welcome to Club Inspire, our free loyalty club. As a member of the club, you can save up to 20% every time you shop with us. For every £1 you spend, whether it's in one of our stores or on our website, you'll collect 1 loyalty point. The more points you have, the more benefits you'll receive. As a welcome present, we'll give you 20% discount with your very first order. Once you place your first order, you'll be given 250 points straight away, making you a bronze member. This will mean that you'll receive a 5% discount on all of your purchases until the end of the next calendar year, plus priority postage. 500 points takes you up to silver membership, where you'll get 10% discount plus free shipping when you spend over £20. When you get to 750 points, you'll become a gold member, which gets you a whopping 15% discount on every order, and we'll ship them to you completely free, no matter how big or small they are. Spend over £25 and we'll send them to you via our premium next day delivery courier service. When you reach 1500 points, you'll become a platinum member, giving you the same shipping benefits as a gold member, but with the added bonus of a massive 20% discount on all of your purchases. Now on top of that, you'll receive exclusive discounts, sneak peeks of brand new products, special offers and money-saving vouchers. You'll have access to an exclusive secret Facebook group to meet like-minded friends, to find out information first and to be inspired by all the Crafty makes. Become a member of our club today.
All the details there of Club Inspire. Make sure you join the club to take advantage of even greater savings. Right, we've still got over an hour of this masterclass to come. Loads more education and inspiration for you. What would you like to guide us through next, Debbie?
I thought we'd take a look at the pads, Joe, because these are amazing pads. They're a really good size. These are 9 by 12 inches. That's huge in pads. What's amazing is that there's 30 sheets of each, so you've got 30 sheets of this incredible dark black cardstock. And I say dark black because it really is. You not just only have amazing quality in the cardstock, it's actually, and I will just rip a bit, it's actually really good cardstock that you can sand back as well, because it has that sort of greyish core colour, which is absolutely,
nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful cardstock. And it's quite often you don't get cardstock like this that you can sand back. So I'm going to take that page out so we can work with a page of the black, and I'm going to take a page out to work with a page of the white. So the white is watercolour, the black is just premium black cardstock, but you could use this with watercolour as well, which is amazing. You know by the name Spectrum Noir, you are getting really high quality supreme cardstock. So this really is, these are your premier creme de la creme cardstocks that you only use when you really want to showcase something. So what I am going to do, Joe, I've just put a little flower die on my rocker block, because I'm just going to bring in some of our pigment ink pads, and also I've got one of our metallic pens. So first of all, I'm going to use the metallic pens, and I'm just going to use it on the marker, and I'm just going to go across by using the marker directly to the stamp. So it will keep it wetter for that little bit longer, because it is going on to the photopolymer stamp. So just making sure that I cover all that area. Now before I stamp, I want to get my spritzer. I'm bringing in a spritzer, and I want to show you, first of all, we're going to pop this down onto here, and then we're going to, I mean, look at that beautiful shimmer. But then we're going to just, oh, I've done the wrong way there. We're just going to add a little bit of water, and when that starts to dry, it will just disperse a little bit of that blue. But when I bring that up, you get the most incredible shine there. Look how gorgeous it is.
Really lovely.
I mean, really love that you can stamp that intensely onto watercolour, onto your black cardstock. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the same one, but we're going to come in and we're going to just go over that and use the gold, and then we'll stamp that onto the black as well. And then you get, I mean, look how gorgeous that is. So just bringing that, that's, I mean, that really shows the quality, not only of our ink pads, our rocker blocks, but also that black coloured cardstock. And then I'm going to bring in the watercolour one. And then what we will do is we'll do exactly the same with our spritzer onto the white. But because this is watercolour cardstock, it will actually allow it to spread that little bit more. So I'm going to bring that in, use my water on there, and then it will start to just disperse some of that colour around the edges. And then you could always then just come in with a small paintbrush, and you would be able to sort of paint around that. But what happens is it dries quite quickly, the ink on there, but it just gives that really unique flower that you've got on there, and it just gives it a different look. But because it's watercolour, I can saturate this and it will lay quite flat. But if I bring this one in, this is, I've really wet this, and it still stayed flat on there as well. So really good quality paper. But what it is good for, Joe, it's great for the watercolour cardstock is 300 GSM, I'm pretty sure. Oh, and the black is 240. So this one is a thicker one with a better tooth on it, which will hold that so much better. Why I've got this here, I just wanted to bring in another tool that we've got on the show, Joe, which is, and I was going to bring it in with the guillotine, but I'm just going to show it now because it's a great way. Do you know what I was saying about this being used to create? What you do, it's got all these little blades inside, and it's called a paper crimper or an edge crimper. And these little blades, they're not going to harm you at all. But what you would would do is put your paper between it and you just run it down the edges. Now we call it a crimper because it almost sort of crimples the papers at the side. So it really does distress that edge of that paper, and look how gorgeous that looks. I'd say gorgeous. It looks gorgeous when you're doing different designs. And in fact, what I'm going to do, Joe, I'm just going to bring in, and we will go into more detail, but I am just going to bring in my guillotine and just trim that flower down, and we're just going to edge that. We will bring that in. I need to cut it because obviously I'm using my smaller guillotine. Let me just cut this piece here, and I'm just going to bring this, cut this into size, because I really want to show you how good the paper distresser is. And then what we're going to do is bring that back in. I just put it down, Joe. Look, where did I put it?
What you lost?
In front of me. The paper crimper.
The crimper? I can't. Is it under your guillotine?
There it is, under that piece of card. So if we just use this on the edges, and you get lots to choose from. I mean, they all do the same thing, but it means if you find that you've used them too many times, it gives you another option if it starts to blunt. But I've had mine a long time, and they're still all as sharp, because really paper isn't going to blunt it that much. But what this does, it gives it the most amazing effect on the edges. So just
really nice when you want to get that distress, isn't it?
It's so lovely, especially when you start to mat and layer them up. But I do love it because it gives you, especially on this black cardstock, it gives you this really sort of almost gold-like effect itself. So a really nice way of just having those distressed edges. And then if I bring that onto some white cardstock, you'll then be able to see, look how much more designer that looks by having those really lovely edges. So that's a good little tool to have in your kit as well. And there we go, Joe. But yeah, the cardstocks are amazing. And again, they're the type of thing that you need in your craft stock. If you want to do anything watercoloured, if you want to do anything with dark black cardstock, these are definitely the pads for you.
Awesome.
And there you go.
If you want to go for the edge trimper, if you want to go for the edge crimper, you can. £2.36 or $3.31. Right, next up, we're going to go through the cardstock. So, going to start with the paper pads, which I've got just here. Now, you're getting both of these in here. So you're getting the watercolour cardstock. You're also getting the black one here as well. So the black is a 240 GSM, of which you are going to get 30 sheets. And then you've also got the watercolour, which is 20 sheets, but it's 300 GSM. And this is real. When we talk about Spectrum Noir, we're talking about artist grade quality, and that is exactly what you've got here in these. 1550 or 2350 if you wanted to go for those. Now we also have the watercolour card, the Crafter's Companion watercolour card. It is the same GSM, so it's the same thickness, but it is just in sheets. So if you didn't want it in a pad, you can get it in this configuration if you wish. £9 or $13. Going to be great for all of your watercolour techniques. So great for your aqua markers, your tricolour markers. Also brilliant for all of your glitter pens or your sparkle jars. All of those things are going to work wonderfully with this. Gillian says, you've inspired me to try new things, especially you colouring using aqua pens. Claire says, loving today's shows. Going back to basics for someone like me who usually makes it up as I go along. And Jean says, this information is so helpful. I got here late, but I've already learned so much. Well, there's so much more still to learn. Next, Debbie, I believe, are you going to teach us about all things acetate?
Well, what we are going to do, and I do apologise just in case some people are looking at our heat-resistant acetate, because that did sell out.
It has.
But we will get some in stock very soon. But what I am going to show you is the printable acetate, because we think of acetate as in construction acetate, what we can do with it. This one, although it is that plastic acetate, it's thinner, but because it's printable, it means we can stamp onto it as well, Joe.
Oh, awesome.
Which is quite amazing. So I've just got my stamping platform here. We're just going to pop our acetate into place and then hold that with our magnets. And then what I'm going to do is bring in that lovely daffodil dye, just because it's getting very spring-like, isn't it, at the moment? We're having some nice weather as well. So
not today, we're not out there though, are we?
Not today, but yesterday.
Although it looks very
Jo,
sunny through the window behind you, Debbie, so maybe it is nice out there.
It's lovely.
Isn't it very sunny?
Yeah, it's
looks
very
really sunny.
So I'm just looking, oh, it's in my bag. So if I check my bag, I haven't even touched on my bag, have I, Jo? We've been,
no.
I've been taking bits and pieces out of this bag. It's so lovely and so handy.
So much stuff in this show, isn't there?
There's so much stuff, yeah. And it really is that core show, just to know what you're going to have and what you can find and what you really need. If you are a beginner crafter and you've only just found us, then these are the sort of all the core products that you can look forward to having with Crafter's Companion. So I'm going to be using my Vanessa alcohol proof because it's, or you could probably, actually, I haven't tried it, but I think, Jo, you could probably use quick drying ink as well on this.
Okay.
So I'm just going to ink up my stamp and then I'm going to ink down. Now, because we are stamping onto acetate, it would take that little bit longer to dry, but the fact that we can stamp onto,
I thought you'd stamped on your platform for a minute then.
I know, it's the actual acetate we've stamped onto. So I'm just going to move that to the side. Now, what I would then suggest is, let me bring in a piece of card, there we go, is to turn it over. And we're going to put it down there, because what you're going to do, I'm going to blot it onto that piece of card. So taking off that first layer will help that to dry. But what I am going to do, I'm just going to grab myself some pens, and then we're going to actually give that a little bit of a colour. So just grabbing myself a yellow and a green. And then what we're going to do, this for me is really the easiest form of creating something really beautiful. I'm just going to colour over the top of our flower. I don't even have to worry, Jo, about being too worried about what it is, because I'm actually colouring onto the back of this flower. So it doesn't really, and because it's acetate, it's very forgiving. So we're just going to do this beautiful flower.
In my head, I always just presume that colouring or stamping onto acetate, it would just never dry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
yeah, it wouldn't with other pens. Like, you wouldn't be able to use felt tip pens.
Right.
But by using alcohol pens, because they dry, I mean, you could use your alcohol markers onto glass. Onto your, if you wanted to personalise something, like, let's say, you used to do, in fact, I remember years ago, Jo, I don't know if they still do it anymore, but we used to, my dad used to, like, on Mother's Day and that, he used to buy us, like, cheap sort of plates, just white plates.
Right.
And we used to draw onto them with permanent markers.
Okay.
So we used to sign them, we used to draw around our hands, that sort of thing. But you could do that with just your markers. So let me just, I haven't got a yellow, we'll just do that yellow. I was going to grab an orange, but that will do for now because we're just doing that quick demo. So when I take this away, Jo, you can see that the excess is printed onto my paper, but if I bring this one in, we've then got that beautifully, in fact, let's use a cleaner piece of card so you can see it a lot better. But we've actually got printed acetate with that beautiful colouring behind. How amazing is that? And I never really thought about using printable acetate to stamp onto, so it's an amazing bit to do. But I would leave that, I don't think you need to let it dry that long. If we just done that again, it's still transferring. That's what the best thing to do, because it's not going to take away the ink, because it's ink-proof acetate, so print-proof acetate. It's not going to take your ink away, but just by popping that on, we can see that's more or less, I think, that is, yeah, that's not printing anymore. So we've actually got our permanently printed acetate.
Brilliant, love that, Debbie. And it's available on the show. You can get 3 packs of it if you want. You get 8 sheets in each, so you get 24 sheets in there, £9 or $13 if you want to get your hands on that. A lot of love for the bags, which we will get to in just a few minutes time. If you want the inkjet printer acetate, £9 or $13 for that. The 8x8 platform still very, very busy. It's actually the star of the show in this masterclass. The great thing about this is that you're getting the magnetic base in there, you're getting the magnets, and you're getting the 8x8 platform too. If you struggle to sometimes maybe always get that impression first time, or you want to use our layering stamps or maybe some of our rotating stamps, this is the one that is going to do that for you, which is brilliant. Now, I'm just going down just to grab the bags. Now let's start with the larger one, which is this one just here. These are absolutely awesome. Now, Debbie Robinson's, honestly, it's like a flock of seagulls flew out of it the other day. It's like Mary Poppins' handbag. Have you seen it? Debbie Robinson's. I mean, it is literally like absolutely ginormous. But the great thing about these is that they are so hard wearing. What you've got in here are movable sections on the inside of here, which are fantastic. And also these sections in here are all movable. You've got lots of lovely gusseted pockets all around the outside, which is fantastic. On this side here, you've got a zip pocket as well, so you can store all of your different bits that you need to in there. And here, I love that you've even then got a slip pocket there as well, so you can get stuff in there. I mean, these can be so full of stuff. They are awesome for if you're going on the go, if you're going to a crop or a workshop. They'll go over your arm as well, which is fantastic. It will match all the other stuff that we bought you as well. So you've got like the apron, you've got the wheelie totes that we bought to you. These are all going to work because they're all in the same fabric. $27.99 or $31.96. Do you know what I'd love for you to do? I'd love for you to send me in pictures of your tote bags absolutely stuffed full because I'd love to see them. If you want to send me pictures of that, you can do so really easily. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. This is the deluxe tote case that I've got here. There is another one as well, a smaller one for you, which is this one just here. Again, exactly the same concept for you, just a bit of a smaller size. It doesn't have the hard sides, this one has a soft sides, but you've still got all of those pockets in there, which is brilliant. And then you've got a sort of open section there on the inside too. This is the Go Tote that you're looking at here, $15.99 or $19.96 if you want to go for that one. Now, there is another one though on the show. Debbie has got that one. A lot of people up for this one in the comments that you've got there, Debbie.
Yeah, this is such a great one because you can fit so much in here. Now, even though I've got mine packed with all the stuff that I use in the show, so all your scissors, because you've got all these little pockets, your pens can go in there, which is amazing, my craft knives, my pokey tool, I've got my cans of spray in there, I've got my daubers in the bottom, my tape pens, we've then got our dye brush, and I've got all my glues in one place, which is great. On the other side, then I've got it packed as well. You've got this great handle. All the stitching is reinforced as well, Joe. You've got these extra back pockets here, so I've got my rulers, my ink pads in there. I've even got my big I mean, that shows how big it is. But if I was to take all this out of my bag, I mean, I've got lots in there. This space is perfect for your guillotine, so you can pop all that in there. If you've got loads of cardstock that you want to put in, all your cardstock is going to fit in there as well. What I love about this bag is the fact that it will fit so much, but what it will also do is it can fit all the things that you want to take. So eventually, when we're going back to our craft classes, when we're going back to see our friends to craft with in their craft rooms, and you take all your stuff, everything you want to do in your project, you can take in this bag, which is great. And it looks, I mean, it just looks fabulous, doesn't it, Joe? I mean, it's such a great bag to have. I love the fact that all the stitching is reinforced. I've had bags before that literally have started coming apart, and where this one is just amazing. It's got a really sturdy bottom on it, which means, because it's actually got parts that fold down to secure your bottoms with as well. So it carries so much, so a lot of weight that you can put in there, which is amazing. But I think just having all those extra pockets, I mean, we've got our red liner tapes in here, we've got our tape pens in there, so everything that you need to be able to craft with is all in one handy space, and just use it. So I have two. I have this one and I have my Totally Tiffany one, which opens up. So each one are just so amazing. So whichever suits you, think about what you put into your bag. I like to have this one for when I've got a lot of cardstock that I want to take with me and I want to craft with, because I can fit it all into this one section at the back. I can also put my guillotine in there. So think about what you want your craft bag for and then go with whichever one suits your needs.
Fantastic. It's $19.99 or $15.96 for that portable tote. Rita says, I have that bag. It sits on my new Crafter's Companion craft desk with all of my go-to supplies, which is awesome. Tracy says, love my bags. They hold absolutely everything and are very well made. If organisation is the name of the game and that's what you want to grab hold of, don't forget there is a Totally Tiffany takeover happening on Sunday to celebrate Tiffany's 18th birthday. It's 3 p.m. here in the UK, 11 a.m. East Coast time. There are also a load of Tiffany birthday deals right now over on the website. So get over there, check them out, take advantage of those bonus points as well. I hear it's the guillotine next, Debbie.
So for me, there's certain core craft tools that we have that you just cannot do without. My top three are the score master or a scoreboard, but the score master, your glass mat, and your guillotine. I could not do without those three things. You definitely need those in your craft stash because they are the things that are usable every single day. So when you use your guillotine, first of all, you have a safety blade here, which has got a safety handle which stops you putting your fingers underneath your blade. So this bit here, not only, so I'm just taking a general piece of cardstock, not only when you cut down here, if you didn't have this to push down, it holds it into place, but listen, that noise is amazing, Joe. I love that noise. It's the perfect noise. It means you get a really sharpened edge on there. Your blade is not any old blade. Your blade comes from a sword manufacturer, so it's a really sharp blade. And the reason we've done that is because it gives you the precision to cut. Now, I'm going to take off just a sliver, Joe. So again, taking that down, this is the one that the demo that we like to do because it means we get edge to edge precision. So we've got identical edges that meet there. Now, if you sometimes, with most guillotines, you do get a really slight bit that's like a little bit out. So I can move that any way round each side. You can see both edges. Well, it's a bit hard to see because I've used black card, but you get precision in being able to cut off identical sides, which means you get that straight edge. Now, the reason we've gone for a sword is because we can cut different things. So I've got our construction acetate. So we've obviously got the printable acetate, but if you wanted, I mean, look at that. It cuts through, literally, as Sarah would say, like hot knife through butter. That has cut construction acetate, which is a heavy weight. Joe, what if I told you if I was to bring in some mount board?
Mount board, wow, I didn't know you could cut that without guillotine. You
certainly can. So even the smallest amount I can cut down just like that, and it's going to cut with no feathering, and it's going to give me that precision that I need every single time, which is amazing to be able to cut through that, which means if I wanted to double up my cardstock, so I'm taking some of our 8x8 textured cardstock, I'm going to put that through and we're going to go through on our 4 inches, holding this centerpiece down. Not only does that hold that in place, it stops you from getting your fingers in the blade. So I know that every time that's going to be precise. I'm then going to take all of those, layer those up, and then I'm going to cut them in half again.
So how many sheets have we got here now?
So we had 2 sheets, so we've cut them in half, so we've got 4, and now we're going to cut
8
through them again. So we've cut through 8 sheets, and what I've got there then is 4 by 4 inch squares of matten layers, which
Perfect.
is incredible. And I've got 8 layers that I've done in literally seconds. Now that is what shows a really good guillotine, when you can cut through and get those matten layers that you want every single time with that precision. So then what you can do is go on to different things like mirror card. Now at the moment I'm just doing cutting, but let's say for instance that I want to cut something, so I'm going to take that down to, let's say we'll take that down to 3 inches. And then I want to cut that to my 6 inches. So I'm going to cut that to 6 inches. But then I want to make a little tiny card for myself. I need to do a little thank you card. I'm then going to take my tool out of the top of the guillotine here. I'm going to leave that where it is at the 6 inches, and I'm going to score down on my inch mark
So
there.
it's your score tool as well.
And you've got a scoreboard, and I've made myself just score that in a bit more, and then we've got ourselves a little freestanding or little card blank that we can do. I love this facility on here, the fact that we have a scoreboard that counts everything. It literally goes up to 6.5 inches, which means we can score and cut and get that precision every single time. And you can see that card blank is absolutely square there, because what we've actually done is being able to create that card blank 3 by 3 and scoring it in half. That is incredible, Joe, that we can do that with a guillotine. And then our tool safely goes back in and it's perfect for everything. We haven't got it on the show, but we do a larger one. So if you wanted to go for a larger one, you can go for the larger one. But the small one for me, it's the one you can leave on your craft desk. It's the one that you can store in your craft bag. So it really is the one that does so many things. But to be able to cut thick cardstock, double cardstock, 8 layers of cardstock. How much is that, Joe? So 230
times 8.
GSM times 8.
A lot.
That's a lot. That's an awful lot. Yeah.
It's about.
It's over 1,000.
About
GSM.
almost 2,000.
Yeah.
1,840
Wow.
GSM is what it's cutting through there.
That's amazing.
Marisol
And I
says,
could do that.
do the blades dull in this after a while, Debbie?
And actually that was on my mind to actually say, but it's actually self-sharpening, Joe.
Okay.
So every time it goes down, can you see here, we have the metal platform. Every time it goes past there, that in itself is quite sharp. And it actually slides up. Can you still hear that going down? Because what it's actually doing, do you know the old knife sharpeners? You put it through metal to metal, it's just going to keep sharpening. So it's self-sharpening, and it's amazing. And if ever your handle gets a little bit, because sometimes we use it on and on, all you have to do is at the back here, you've got these nuts and bolts. Just get one of those, I don't know the right one that will do it, but you'll find them. It's a spanner. Yeah, that's what it is, Joe. Think of the word.
Debbie, we don't call her Debbie. She's not known as Debbie DIY Fisher. We can tell you that.
You can use one of them to tighten it up, and then that will stop your handle from coming down, just in case that loosens. But an absolutely amazing guillotine to have.
Awesome. It is brilliant quality as well. Hardened stainless steel blade on there. You've got both your metric and your imperial measurements. You've got the finger guard, scoring tool, and those score lines embedded in there for you too. It is awesome. £21 or $29 if you want to get your hands on it. Definitely do. Lots of you chatting away with us as well. Fred says, I like the guillotine. It is light enough to move around, but strong enough to do its job properly. They then say, off with their heads, which makes me laugh. It's not that kind of guillotine, but that did make me chuckle. Marie says, I love my guillotine, have both sizes. I use it every time I craft, a must have for all of the crafters. I absolutely agree. Don't miss out on it. It is in stock right there now, as you can see, which is fantastic. If you've got any questions, we'll do another question and answer. I've got a few coming in, so we'll do another question and answers in about 20 minutes or so, something like that. So you've got time still to get those questions into us. And you can send them to me on Facebook or across on YouTube. You know the drill. Right, I can see a lot of you with very full baskets. I'm going to give you an opportunity to check out. Whilst you do that, let's recap all the fantastic details of Club Inspire.
Welcome to Club Inspire, our free loyalty club. As a member of the club, you can save up to 20% every time you shop with us. For every £1 you spend, whether it's in one of our stores or on our website, you'll collect 1 loyalty point. The more points you have, the more benefits you'll receive. As a welcome present, we'll give you 20% discount with your very first order. Once you place your first order, you'll be given 250 points straight away, making you a bronze member. This will mean that you'll receive a 5% discount on all of your purchases until the end of the next calendar year, plus priority postage. 500 points takes you up to silver membership, where you'll get 10% discount plus free shipping when you spend over £20. When you get to 750 points, you'll become a gold member, which gets you a whopping 15% discount on every order, and we'll ship them to you completely free, no matter how big or small they are. Spend over £25 and we'll send them to you via our premium next day delivery courier service. When you reach 1500 points, you'll become a platinum member, giving you the same shipping benefits as a gold member, but with the added bonus of a massive 20% discount on all of your purchases. Now on top of that, you'll receive exclusive discounts, sneak peeks of brand new products, special offers and money saving vouchers. You'll have access to an exclusive secret Facebook group to meet like-minded friends, to find out information first and to be inspired by all the Crafty makes. Become a member of our club today.
All the details out of Club Inspire, the key to unlocking even more fabulous discounts for you. Now we are going to venture into Debbie's glue school. She's going to be the headmistress. She really, really is. We are going to look at all of these awesome adhesives that we've got. So what you've got in here is you've got your 3D glue gel, you've got the all-purpose, the tacky, both of the tape pens, 2 sets of the red liners, the fine tip applicators, and you've got 2 sets of the foam pads there as well. £38 or $64, which is absolutely awesome. So do snap that up. Right, Debbie, glues. We bring lots of glues, don't we? I mean, you've pretty much got everything you need, I'd say, wouldn't you, in here for like your day-to-day crafting?
Yeah, absolutely. So the one thing on top of everything that we've covered today that we haven't covered is glues. And it's the one thing, Joe, we've done glue schools before and we recap all the time because we know we have new people watching and people forget what they're for because there's so many different glues. Why would you need that one? Why would you need that one? Why would you need this? Why would you need that? 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 And there's still more. There is so many different glues that you then just end up thinking to yourself, and I'm telling you honestly, as a beginner crafter, when I first come across all these different glues, I could not work out in my head why I would need a tacky glue, why I would need a solvent glue, why one was water-based, what were their uses for? And then if I had a tape pen, why do I need a wet glue? There's so many different questions on glue, so if you've got any, please let us know, and Joe will throw them across to me and we can answer them because there is a use for all of them. They are all needed, and genuinely, I could make a card and use 1, 2, 3, 4 types of glues. I could use them all in one project because they all have a different way to use them. So let's start right at the beginning, which is our Kalau all-purpose glue. Now this is the one that Leanne says is the best glue in the world because she loves this one. It's the one that's going to stick so many different things. It dries like concrete, so it's amazing. It is a wet glue and it is solvent based. Now because it's solvent based, it means that it's a little bit stronger because it's very strong, but it's a little bit stronger in that it could take surfaces off. So the one thing that you don't want to be using it on is things like glitter card, Centura Pearl, anything with a coating. You definitely don't want to use it as your photo glue and use it to stick your photos in an album. What you do need to use this on is so many other things. So all your paper crafting in your cardstock, your water-based cardstock, so watercolor cardstock, is absolutely amazing to use it with because it will flatten everything down. The best thing I would say to use this for is what I'm going to do as well, let me grab myself some card. So when you are using it, use it sparingly because what will happen is when it dries, it will dry so hard that it will actually form into the shape. Now, as you can see, I've put it on there. If I put my finger onto it, it's like this real liquidy gel. And then what will happen, that will become really sticky and really strong. So I'm just going to wipe that off. It's not harmful to my hands at all. When you wipe it off, it almost just creates little bobble effects, which is really good. But also what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a splodge, and I'm using white card, so I do apologise. I'm going to just change it to some coloured cardstock so you can see what I'm doing. In fact, Joe, let me just grab these bits here. We had our cardstock here, didn't we? So let's use these. So then you can see what I'm actually doing. So I'm going to put some on here, so right up to the edges, and that will give me that really, I'm just doing this so you can see, and it's just filling the whole gaps of that card in.
It's friendly enough then to not have to worry about getting on your skin and stuff, Debbie?
I am not sensitive
to
any glues, heat resistor. I've got pretty tough paws, I think. Some people might find, Joe, so if you do find that you're a little bit sensitive to anything that's got a solvent in it, so maybe you might find even your nail polish remover, anything like that, it's no stronger than your nail polish remover, Joe.
Okay.
So it's not going to do any damage, but I would say just on the safe side, it's why you have a nozzle on the top to be able to do it. I'm just spreading it to show you what the wetness of it is. And then also I want to put a big sort of splodge on there that's going to come out. So I'm going to pop that underneath. This is going to stick amazingly well, so we can stick that right upon each other. And then this bit, so you can see where I've worked that in is not coming out. This bit is coming out onto my card. But all you do is you sort of, and this is why, Joe, I don't think it's going to harm anyone. Look at that. Gone.
Just rubs away.
Just gone. Completely gone. All it would do is just rub away, and it would just form these almost like little sticky balls. So you won't have any problem with getting that glue spillage anywhere. What they call is almost your glue strings. That's what they call them, don't they?
Well, some people call them glue bogies, don't they? That is Debbie calls them.
There we go. So yes, so all your stickiness is gone, which is cool, and then you've got nothing around the edge, and that's going to hold that really, really firmly. So what we'll do, we'll pull this apart in a little while. We're going to let that glue because it's a wet glue, but that is probably a very, very strong glue. Now I'm going to bring in tacky glue. Now the reason we use tacky glue, this is my favourite glue, Joe. So it dries really quickly. It's tacky because it means it really grabs hold quickly. So if I bring in something like, I'm going to cut these because we don't need such a big cardstock. So I'm just going to cut my two different, in fact, let's cut two different layers here. So I'm going to cut our, actually we'll do a 4 on this one. I'm trying to think. Actually, I know what I'm going to do, Joe. We're going to do a 4.5. There we go. And I'm going to do that by 5. And then I'm going to do a 5. So we've done a 4.5. I'm going to do a 5. And then we did that one by 5. So we'll do a 6. And I think that will matten layer. No, we still needed to take ½ an inch off. So 5.5. And you can see how quick the guillotine is. So that gives me a border around that edge. So what I can do now, Joe, is I can do my matten layer in. So we're just bringing our tacky glue, and all I'm going to do is take my nozzle bit off. I'm going to put this around the edge. So just working that out around the edge. You can see this is much thicker, this glue. But what this gives me is a real good bond. Now, the best thing to do with tacky glue... James Bond, yes.
The name's Bond, adhesive Bond.
I love it, Joe. So what I would say is leave this for about 30 seconds to a minute. And what will happen, the longer you leave it, the more tackier this glue gets. Now this is water-based, so it's a good glue for kids as well. It's got no smell in it whatsoever, which is amazing. But what it does do is it bonds then really well to different materials. So glitter card is really known for, it's quite hard to stick. A lot of people would use either red liner tape or they would use their tape pen, which would stick it as well, because it's almost got, it's not quite a rough edge, it's still got that movability where I'm moving it to make sure I've got that straight. I'm just going all around the edges here just to make sure that that's grabbing into all those particles. So just rubbing that down, rubbing that on, and then what will happen is I will get the most amazing stick on there with my tacky glue, and then what will happen, because that spreads to the edges, I won't get nothing coming up, so no peeling. I could stand this, if this was going to be a card, I could stand this on top of my windowsill with a radiator underneath, and the heat would not take this apart, Joe.
Oh, that's good.
So that's really, this is a really good bonding glue, and it's still a little bit wonky, and I think I could possibly, because it is coated cardstock, can move that slightly. So that's the difference between the tacky glue and the Kalau. You've got a one that is for all purpose, but it is a solvent based, which means you can actually use this to put on the likes of, if you want to do mixed media and you want to stick shells to your project, or buttons or anything like that, you're going to be able to use
I
that,
use it
and
to stick the
would
return labels on my parcels. That's what I use it for.
It's just got a really good use for everything. So that's those two. The next thing we've got is our 3D glue gel, which is amazing. So I do believe, just correct me, Joe, is it the one with the tools?
With the tools, I believe, yes.
With the tools, which is perfect. So I'm sure I did grab myself, yes. With the tool set, you get this piece that comes inside. That is the piece that you sort of roll up. If you want to get more of these, this is great for your toothpaste as well. So when you get into the end of the tube, you can use it on your toothpaste as well. But what you do get in the tool set, you get your syringe. So you're going to take out the syringe, make sure that when you're putting your glue in, you take the nozzle off. You don't want to pop this on. I've done it myself, Joe, and I've gone to push it in and forced it, and it's shot, yeah, the nozzle, and I couldn't find it. It's no good having a shooting off nozzle.
And then your end got bunged up a bit.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. So, so what you're going to do with this, you're going to actually take off your Kalau, sorry, not your Kalau, your chunky, not your chunky glue. You're going to take your 3D glue gel. We call them all sorts of things.
It is called Kalau 3D glue gel, which we call chunky glue. So you did get it right 3 times, really.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I like to do to start with is just push that in, but because I want you to see it, so we're going to pop this down. We're going to hold that into place, and then we're going to turn, can you see? And that will just push it in. Make sure you have some here that you don't put it all into, because when you put your bottom half in and push it, it's going to come up through your nozzle.
Debbie, is it because last time you did this, you had a bit of an accident and it went everywhere? Well, you were a bit too forceful last time you showed us this.
Well, I just think I said some things which weren't appropriate to a glue.
I mean, it is quite hilarious just watching you do it.
I know, and I'm trying really hard to get my words out
Everyone's very
properly.
Childish here at Crafters TV,
Yes,
so
they
we're
are
having a
very
right old
childish,
giggle.
yes.
We are.
So what you would do now, Joe, when you finish using your glue, you would use that little nozzle bit. So I've let my glue come up the tube just a little bit more. When you've done that, you will then put your lid back on, because what that little bit does, this is the only bit at the top that doesn't completely
You're going to have to share, Debbie. It was on the 28th of February, apparently. Normally we save them as bloopers. We don't, though. We saved it as a glooper.
Yeah, I know. And when I got to this bit of the glue, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, let me get through this one, please. But anyway, so what that does is if your glue is going to get blocked up, it will only be this top part. So having that little bit on the edge, what that acts as is a plug, Joe. So you can then unplug, take it out, and then this
so
bit
you
will
basically
be
dries up,
glued.
I'm guessing.
It can do, yes. But that's only if you don't use it for maybe a week or so. But if you're using it every day, it wouldn't be a problem at all. The other tip I would say is when you finish with your main tube of glue, make sure you put just a little bit on the top there and then put your lid on. Because what that will do, that will also stop the nozzle from getting bunged up. So that way, when you open it, you'll get a bit of stringy glue around the cap, but it will stop it from going hard inside.
Awesome.
So what is this glue good for? So we've used our solvent base, we've used our tacky glue onto our glitter cardstock. What I'm now going to bring in, Joe, is I've got some of Sarah's decoupage from her
Caring Thoughts?
Caring Thoughts, yes. So what I am going to do with this, I'm going to use my pokey tool just to give this a bit of shape. So by being able to shape this, it just gives a really nice sort of definition to your actual flowers. Now, Craig likes his foam pads and I like my glue gel. So what I'm going to do is put quite a big blob of glue onto those bits there. So you can see I've used quite a bit and we're just going to pop them down. Now what I can then do is just push that into place, but it keeps the shape all around it and it looks beautiful. Where if I use foam pads it would flatten it out a little bit, but actually when I look at that dimension that we've got there, it's just amazing that we've got all those beautiful curves going on. And then I'm going to go in with my next sizes. I'm just using my fingers or my pokey tool, and that would just keep it all really nice. And then we're going to use that. So you've got precision with your element here. You could, if you wanted to, just use your straight out of the tube. And again, we're keeping that really layered well. And then we're just going to do another one here, Joe. And you just keep going, layering them all up. And it's just a really nice way to create some beautiful movement in your crafting.
A lot of questions about Gloria coming in.
Oh, yes, Gloria.
And how to make a Gloria.
Yes.
Maybe people would like a Gloria craft along. I'm sure it's not that complex, is it?
It's very, no. I'd like to say it is, Joe. Yeah, really like to say that it's complicated. Just finding, oh, it goes on that one, that's why, Joe. So pop that one onto there. But there we go. So that's what the glue does. It creates that beautiful definition. I mean, look how much we've got there, that 3D effect, that gorgeous shaping, and looks beautiful. So we've used 2 lots of different glues on there, one for our glitter card, then our 3D glue gel. But you've also got the pads in that collection, the foam pads that you can use on your decoupage as well, so lots of different ways. So going back to what I call Gloria, because she's my glue booth, I'm going to bring her in here. So she literally is, and I don't want to put her down, but she really is just the top of a water bottle, any water bottle, and they look amazing. So all you do is cut round them. I know lots of people that have decorated them, they've added stickers to them, they're die cuts, and your little glue bottle, I just put, you're going to just, if you unscrew this, mine will be quite full to the top, you fill this up with your tacky glue. So I've got tacky glue in here, and actually I did see, I'm not sure who did it, but one of the team must have done it. They actually put their their Kalau all-purpose glue gel in there, and it was a liquid gel in there. For me, that comes out a little bit too quickly, but you could try it. But what you need to do is keep these upside down, and they're hard because where do you put them when they're upside down and they get left down? It stops the pin from going rusty. It means it's ready to use straight away. It also means that when you take your pin out, you can drop your pin inside and it's not going to go anywhere. You're not going to lose that pin. And then you can continue with that left upside down, which means your nozzle won't get blocked. You might get like a small little pimple, which you just, which will go a bit hard, which you just take off. But you could leave that in there crafting for about an hour. Mine's only got a D on it, so I know I only take my one and not the one at the studio, just in case you're wondering why mine has a D. There we go. It's so easy. So yeah, just at the top of a water tub, and then you can pop your little glue bottles in there, and I have tacky glue in mine, which is amazing. So we are still going. What, sorry?
I'm loving this. Loads of people in the comments are absolutely loving it as well. I've got loads and loads of glue questions, so we'll do them at the end,
brilliant.
if that's all right.
So what I'm going to now bring in is our tapes. So tapes. We have red liner tape, we have dotty tape pen, and we have a solid tape pen. All of these have amazing uses. This is probably the red liner tape is probably the most strongest tape ever. Red for danger, as I always say, Joe, so you always know anything that's
all you
red.
Billy Ocean fans out there?
Yeah, it will have an amazing stick on it. It has so many different ways to use it, because you can use it with your glitters, your gilding flakes, lots of different ways. It's great for construction, which is amazing. You can use it to create different borders, to actually put your cards down together. And I'm going to show you a little trick as well, Joe, with this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this all the way around on my piece of card. And it's just a really good little trick to help you to mat and layer. So I'm just going to get my scissors and trim this to the edge. Our scissors are brilliant for this because they don't I don't know what it is, but they're like anti-sticking, so you don't get any stickiness on your scissors.
Yeah, got like a non-stick coating on them, haven't
That's
they?
it, non-stick, yeah, non-stick scissors. So putting it like that. Now, do you know when you come to putting things down straight, sometimes it's hard when you've got tape on there to stick it straight in one go. So what you would do is just take an edge out.
Oh, I see.
And then I'm going to take an edge out on this side as well. So just bringing that in. You could use your pokey tool, just doing that edge. And then what I'm going to do, the bits that aren't stuck, stick that to it and onto the bottom. And then, you know, now if that was sticky, I wouldn't have got that precision. All you do is pull your tape down, stick that down, turn that round. Oh, my bit's gone inside.
Oh
There it
dear.
is. And pull that down, and you get the perfect stickiness all the way round. But what's happened is I was able to lay that down first to make sure that my precision mat was straight over the top, and that will just give you the strongest stick that you could have on anything there. We've almost created a little pocket there, but that's really sticky. So the red liner tape is amazing and just really good for construction.
Beautiful.
My favourite ones, Joe, and I think most people's as well, are the tape pens, which are amazing. Even Joe was saying before the show that this dotty tape pen is...
I love it.
He just absolutely loves it. So what I am going to do though, let me grab myself that piece of scrap paper. I'm going to bring in this leaf. So these are from Sarah's Caring Thoughts as well. And I've got a flower and a leaf. So first of all, if I was to use this solid, what we call a solid, so it says it on here, so this is just tape all the way through. If I was to use this onto here, I'm just going to pop that down there. And then what I'm going to do is bring in another leaf, and we're going to do exactly the same. So onto one side and then onto the other side. And then I'm going to do the same with the flower. So if I was to run this across my flower, I mean, you can see already what it's doing. It's creating string. It doesn't know where it's got to stick. So where the dotty tape pen, if I bring this one in, the dotty tape pen will only leave dots where the actual die cut is, because it has that breathing room, it's allowing me to be able to bring that through. So if I bring that one in and stick that one down, and then I bring this one in and stick that one down, then we're going to do the same with the leaves. So we've got a leaf there and we've got a leaf here. Now, I think you can tell the difference. I've used it on black card, Joe, but look, if I wiggle that about, can you see all the shiny parts?
Can't quite get it. I wonder if we can get it on the close-up, Debbie.
So on this one here, what you can see is lots of string.
Yeah, I can start
There.
to see that now.
Yeah, so this top one and this one, they're the ones that we don't really want. There
Right.
we go, perfect. Because what they're doing is showing us all that stringy glue, where these two, I can't feel a single piece of glue throughout them, but they are stuck fast. That is incredible that a tape pen can do that on really intricate dies. So you don't want to be using your straight edge, but you do want to be using the dotty one. So these are quite amazing, but that's making this one sound like it's no good, Joe. And
Which
actually,
is not the case, is it?
It's not the case at all. It just means that you use this on solid things. So if you want to go round, and I'm going to show you another trick with this as well. When you put this to paper and bring it down, you've got that strip. When you pull it to the end, you won't see it, but we are slightly turning them. Now I'm making that really noticeable.
Flick of the wrist.
So you need that slight flick. So when we do it, you won't see me do it. Can you see? see, you're not seeing me do it, but I am actually just flicking, because what it does, it takes off the end. If I was to just do this and pull it, it's likely that a string will come with it, and that will pull into it. If you do find there's nothing on here, no stickiness, just push that around a little bit, and then what will happen is then it'll grab hold of the sticky bit again and then be ready to use.
Awesome.
So amazing. They're so amazing to use, Joe. So and they all have.
And they're so fast, aren't they, is the thing with the tape pens. I mean, you can really lay down loads of adhesive so quickly, and then get that instant stick as well. I've got loads of questions coming in, loads of you chatting away, really loving the glue score too. Melissa says, love all these sticky tips. So handy to relate back to when I'm unsure of which one to use on a project, so thank you, Debbie. Winnerbeth says, what a great tip, Debbie. Learn something new each time I watch the adhesive demonstrations. Jean wants to know, what glue is best to glue foam flowers to acetate? That's a good one.
Foam flowers to acetate. Right, so you could either use the 3D glue gel, or you could use our hot glue gun, Joe, so that could go onto acetate, but because it's hot, you might have to go for the heat resist acetate.
Okay.
So I would definitely say the 3D Kalal glue gel, or foam pads. Foam pads would work perfectly well as well.
Okay, great idea.
Yeah.
Karen wants to know, what glue is best for sticking regular cardstock onto glitter or Centura without having the buckling of the card? That's a great question.
So buckling of the card, a lot of that is caused through collateral purpose. You wouldn't want to use that on your glitter card or Centura Pearl, so you would use your tacky glue. Now, buckling of the card, for me, is when you use too much glue. So what I would say is you don't need loads of glue, so just put a little bit around the edge. It might actually help to have maybe a little spatula at the side where you can just push it down so it's actually smooth. The other thing with buckling is sometimes, depending on the weight of cardstock, if it's a lighter weight cardstock, sometimes it pulls it in, so it almost shrinks it, but it doesn't shrink it, it buckles it because it's pulling it in. So what I would say is lay it under something heavy. Even your bag, like if you've stuck something together and you've got your craft bag, just pop that on top, put it under your glass mat, anything that just makes it lay a little bit flatter, and that will completely stop the buckling.
Awesome, top tip there, Debbie, thank you. Tricia says using oh no, I just got that. That's that one there. Yes, I'm making a card using the floral hair dye and I'm paper piecing the hair. Which glue should I use for the small bits that are being paper pieced? That's from Tricia.
So if you haven't got a Xyron, for the tiny bits, I would say a Xyron is perfect for that, but I do know they're not in stock, and if you haven't got one, then yeah, that's a little bit more tricky. But for putting in the small pieces, I would definitely recommend the little bottles of glue. So I think we get them in that collection, do we, Joe? Yes,
you?
we do.
They're in there?
Yeah, and you get the pin. So I would definitely recommend these because they have a really tiny little nozzle, and make yourself a little Gloria, because when you've got tiny little bits, you could have those tiny little bits all spread out, and you can literally just go with your glue all the way round, and it will put glue on them, and then you can use your tweezers to then put them into place.
Awesome, thank you for that. Gwenda would like to know, will a glue gun give decoupage the same kind of height and dimension as the glue gel and the foam pads?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, any glue gel, any of the hot glue gel, it just means that it's hotter and dries quicker. So actually, it would be really good if you wanted something to dry really quickly, because the Collal 3D glue gel, it would actually take, I would say it's touch dry within an hour, but I would leave it for 12 to 24 hours to be completely dry.
Awesome, thank you for that. Teresa would like to know if you can talk us around how to make our very own Gloria. How do you make a Gloria, Debbie?
Yeah, absolutely. I've got a bottle of water, so I could.
Oh, do you want to make one?
We could. I just need to get rid of my water.
I've got an empty cup here.
Oh, there we go. Give me that, Joe, and then because I can always refill my water
wanna
up.
Give it a rinse if you're planning on keeping the water.
I know, not worried about that. I might have to drink. Oh, we've got a little bit more. Is it all right to just drink it?
Yeah.
There we go. Anything for TV. So the first thing I'm going to do is get my craft knife, So let me just take that, there we go. And all I'm going to do is, and this is any bottle, so I don't think Gloria come from, oh she might have done because I do drink, it doesn't matter what water you have. All water has this, there we go. I'm just going to put a line.
They're all standard top size, aren't they?
Yeah, and yeah, they are all standard top size. You're right, Joe. Yes. So all I'm going to do is take my knife. Be really careful when you're doing this.
Could you use scissors if you weren't too confident,
You can use scissors. Yeah, absolutely. I'm just using a knife, and then we can leave this one here, and there you go. It's as simple as that. And that it is a different one. So look, I've got two different sizes, but all the nozzles are the same. So even though that was a large bottle of water, it's actually got a bigger base, that one. But that's as easy as it comes. And then actually my sellotapes come off of my Gloria. But if you put a piece of sellotape across the bottom, in fact, let's do that as well. Let me find my, I'll use this one for now as I haven't got sellotape, but just put this across the bottom. And what will happen is when you come to using it, it will stick your bit in there, can you see? So it actually sticks on the sellotape so you don't lose your pin. But also, if you put that right down when you're using it, it actually it blocks it.
Okay.
So your glue won't come out at all. So you can just continue to use this all the time until you finish your project, and then you just go in underneath, take your pin and pop it back in.
Brilliant, love that.
Your pin. I've never changed my glue bottle and my pin has never gone rusty. All I would say is if your pin's been out a little while, the glue on it will dry. So just use your fingers to take away that glue. So when you put it back in, you're not putting in sort of dried glue because that can bung up your nozzle as well. And it's as simple as that. There we go.
Brilliant, absolutely love that. Lots of questions about vellum. Which ink is best to use to stamp on vellum? Alcohol proof or quick dry? I think we've been, this is from Clarice, I think she means if you were stamping a sentiment onto vellum.
Yeah, definitely. So either one, yeah, quick drying or, yeah. Either one you will still probably need to let dry just for a little while. Heat embossing would make it even better because that would dry instantly because you just then put your embossing powder and then blast it with your hot tool gun, and then that will fix it completely. Or you could use, we do a spray and shine as well. You could spray that over the top and it would just give it a sealant, which would be lovely, and that would stop it transferring. Or if not, yeah, and sparkly, and if not, just let it dry for a little while and it'll be fine.
Brilliant. Kathy wants to know if she can use metallic markers on acetate, and actually Dawn's also asked if she can use aqua markers on acetate.
You can't use aqua markers on acetate. No, not at all. That's a water-based product. You need something like alcohol markers because alcohol, it will evaporate and it will dry really quickly. So yes, you can use your metallics and you can use your alcohol pens onto acetate.
Brilliant. Deb wants to know what glue is best for jigsaw dies.
Jigsaw dies, so to actually hold them all together or to glaze them on top.
I think maybe she means about adhering the picture or the top layer onto the actual mount board.
So we do Venice. Oh, I can't think of the name of the glue. It begins with V. Someone else I'm sure will tell me, but it's like a glaze and it will do both. It will glue the actual puzzle. It's Venice Skull, I think that's right.
Right.
George
Awesome.
Has just said, yeah, Venice Skull, that's right, yeah. It's Kalau Venice Skull glue gel and it's brilliant for puzzles, so that's exactly what you need, yeah.
Brilliant. Lena wants to know how many metres are on our tape pens,
22,
the dotty one.
22 metres. Yeah, which is amazing. And honestly, Leanne had these, she just went and she had, I think she probably went through the same amount of tape pens as what she did meters to the pen to get the right one. It took us a long time, and I think you'll all know, whoever uses them, you've used tape pens in your past, nothing as compared to our tape pens. They're amazing.
No, absolutely it doesn't. Right, Debbie, we're nearly out of time. We do have some pictures of your tote bags that you've sent in to us. So we're going to have a look at those. Michelle sent us this one in. I think that's all right. I mean, she says it's very, very well stocked. I think that's pretty, well, actually, from the other angle, Debbie, it is pretty loaded, isn't it?
See, I love that. I think it's brilliant because what she's done, and this is what I was saying about get the bag that's right for you. This one carries all of Michelle's stuff that she's going to be crafting with, her scoreboard, her her envelope box board, and all her dies, her stamps and her papers. I mean, she's literally got everything there in her bag. I love it, Jo.
Awesome. Karen sent this next one in to us. That is very well stocked, Debbie.
Absolutely, yeah. It's got all sorts in there, hasn't it? I just love these bags, and thank you for sending them in. It just shows what they've got on there. I love that one, Karen.
More storage as well from Karen, which is awesome. Love that. Very, you can get so much in them,
So
can't
much
you?
in them, yeah, so
Which is
much
awesome.
in them.
Val needs a few more goodies. She's working on filling hers up, apparently.
Oh, it's looking lovely though, Val. You're getting there. So, yeah, I'm loving. Do you know what I really love is people that use them for what they need them for. Everyone says, like they say about Debbie's, our other Debbie Robinson, saying that her bag is so full, but she knows where everything is, Jo.
She does.
You know where everything is in your craft bag, which is great.
I love what Laura's done. Now, is this the Gemini? No, this is a Gemini Junior, I think. She's actually
Gemini
taken
Junior, yes.
all of the centre panels
That's
out and actually
amazing.
used it as a Gemini Junior bag. What a great idea.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, you've got your plates in there, your scissors. Yeah, it literally is a die cutting bag. I love that, really good.
Fantastic, absolutely is. Remember what you're getting, the portable tote there, $19.99 and $15.95. Remember what you're getting in that adhesive collection. Very, very busy on that as we move now towards the end of the show. Getting everything you need, 3D glue gel with the tools, all purpose, you're getting the tacky, you're also getting all here, the 2 tape pens, you're getting the 2 sizes of the red liner, you're also getting the fine tip glue applicators, and you are getting there the foam pads as well. Now, next, I want to share with you the stamping platform, which is this one just here. Very busy on the star of the show, in fact, I think, that stamping platform. You guys absolutely love this, as you do every time we bring it to you. It's great that it's back in stock. It was out of stock for absolutely ages, but it is back now. So do grab it, $22.49 or $26.99. Is your price. So do grab a hold of that one. Now, Debbie, you and I will be back together in a couple of hours for launch party. What can we expect from that show?
Oh, well, we've got some very unique eclipses.
Ooh, total eclipse.
Total eclipse. And they are a total eclipse. Yeah, we've got some amazing new stamps and dies, which you're just going to love, and they're going to be amazing to use. Yeah, so join us then.
Yeah, make sure you join us a little later for that, for launch party. Another chance to see those pop-out sentiments on there as well. We've got a fantastic out of this world deal for you. There'll be an explorer deal, all the usual fabulousness that you expect from a launch party every Tuesday evening. So it's 7 p.m. here in the UK, which for now is 3 p.m. over on the East Coast. Be there or be square. You'll see myself and Debbie there. Take care.